Hello there, a very good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Channels Beam. I am Victor Matthias. Now, since the resumption of voter registration on a continuous basis in 2017, the Independent National Electoral Commission has been looking at ways to make voter registration easier, more accessible, and user-friendly, not only to the multitude of prospective registrants, but also to registered voters who may wish to transfer their registration or have had their permanent voter cards missing or defaced. Now, the Commission has introduced the online platform for that, and on the program today we will be looking at how the exercise, which will run till the first quarter of 2022, has been going, and also the response by voters, as well as the next steps to be taken to ensure people participate in the exercise. And to help us get a broader view of this, we have joining us via telephone now, we have Cliff Stanley. He is a political analyst, a writer, influencing specialist with interest in democracy, open governance, and public engagement. He joins us via phone again from Jos in Plateau State. And also in our Abuja studios, we have with us Njoku Emmanuel. He is a social activist, an election enthusiast, good governance, and a youth advocate. We also have in the Abuja studio, Pt.1 Taragi. She is a legal practitioner with a huge passion for girl-child education, women empowerment, and youth development, who recently started an initiative to encourage more Nigerians to register and participate in the 2023 general elections and subsequent polls. But let's kick out the conversation with Cliff, who is joining us via phone from Jos in Plateau State. Cliff, it's a pleasure again to have you on the program. But let's begin with how successful you think this exercise will be, especially now that the Independent National Electoral Commission has provided an online platform that will give people an easy way, to register or change their polling units or even their defaced PVCs.
Yeah, hello. First and foremost, I want to say that I must have done a very good platform for the most public, because if you look at most of the time when you have the voters, the social exercise going on, I have a situation where you have a lot of people that are going to work, you have a lot of students that are in the school, and at the same time you have a lot of people that can due to their business to not be able to participate in the voter registration. We have a situation where I make sometimes need to spend time for people to be able to have time to register. But the platform whereby I make able to give, whereby you can go on e-registration, whereby you have younger people that are optimism, that are interested in sharing data or try to register everything online, can be very, very happy to make sure that they register. And we're having those that have yet registered before and the age of 18. Now they can have platform where they can be able to register at the comfort of their house. They have students even after their lectures, they can be able to do it. They have business people, or even those they are working for an hour where they go for their lunch break, they can be able to register. And I was able to follow up with some of the INF staff I know about the registration, and some of the people that have been registered online. It has been a successful registration, because we have a situation whereby before we used to have crowded people going into the voter registration, and with the COVID-19 that we have now, so a lot of people will be very happy that there is a platform whereby they don't need to go to where people are so crowded because of the pandemic that is going on, and at the same time, at the comfort of their home, and then they are also going to change their cards from where they are to the other polling units, whereby they can be able to register and feel comfortable that they are being taken as far as I'm concerned, and have been led by making sure that at this time around, at this 21st century, we're having a voter register by an e-voter registration that virtually majority of the younger people that form the bulk of the voting population can be able to do in terms of voting time.
All right, very well, Cliff, I'll come back to you in just a minute. Let me head over to our Abuja studio, where we have with us Emmanuel and Njoku, as well as Pt.1 Taragi. But let me start with you, Pt.1. We're looking at the online process, and we've seen in the past few days, of course, so much campaign online, trying to get people to go and get their voter cards so that they can participate in the coming elections. How has that campaign been going so far?
Yeah, that has been going quite well. I mean, I have been talking to a couple of friends. I've been talking to a couple of people I've been using my social media platform basically, and the responses has been amazing. A lot of people keep telling me, "Oh, I'm not sure I want to vote. I'm not sure. It's tedious." I remember last year, people had to wake up as early as 5 a.m. to go and queue, get a number just to register to get their voter's card. But with the new recent online voters registration, I mean, it's as simple as ABC. So once I talk to people about it, they see my post on social media. People are encouraged, and the responses have been amazing so far, honestly.
All right, so one of the things or usually that keeps coming up, is how you need to get more people to get on the platforms. I mean, get their PVCs and all of that. And INEC is looking at getting about 20 million more people to its existing database. And, of course, women are always key in every election. I mean, being voters, being, seekers of political offices as well. Do you think this will be a game changer?
Of course it will. I'm a lady, and so this means I have more female friends. And using my platform, I mean, the responses I've been getting majorly have been from ladies, women. I'm speaking to my mother as well, her friends, ladies I know, women I know, speaking to them to tell them, oh, you know what, please take advantage of this and register. I don't want it to be like, oh, because I'm a lady, my voice doesn't count, or I don't necessarily have to do these things. And it's been going so well. The responses have been good. People have been registering. I know I've helped a couple of people do the online registration and choose a place where they could go get their voter's card. So it's been going well.
All right, Emmanuel, let me come over to you now. Let's look at the impact, of this process. I mean, how will it impact the coming elections?
Yeah, so we are excited about this development, this step that INEC has taken to get more young people to, participate in the election. So talking about the impact it will have, presently in the voter register, they say about 51.3% of young people make up the voter register as a 2019 election. Now, with what INEC is doing, bringing this thing closer to young people and targeting to register close to 20 million people, which I believe will be more, it simply means that the impact this will give is probably it will give power more to young people, because you're talking about people registering on their phones, smartphones. The people that usually use these smartphones are young people. So we want to see a situation whereby 2023 general election, we'll probably have over 70% of the people on the voter register to be young people, meaning that young people will have more power to hire or to fire who their political leaders will be across the country in all the elections. So yeah, I believe this will have a lot of impact. So it's a game changer of some sort, bringing this thing closer home, by making people able to register. But then there are other bigger issues that I believe will also make more impact. Talking about the electoral amendment, the electoral bill that is National Assembly, there are three game changers. So I've been having engagement with young people. A lot of young people will tell you that it's not about getting registered, that the votes will not count. But we are trusting the National Assembly, who they have assured Nigerians that by Thursday that the electoral amendment bill would be out, that they would have passed it. We're trusting them to ensure three things. For me, there are three game changers in the electoral amendment bill. Section 49, which seeks to legalize the use of the card readers and ensuring that electronic accreditation is now legalized. No more use of incidence forms. That will go a very long way to see that elections become more credible. Then secondly is Section 63. Section 63 talks about electronic transmission of votes. So it's important that this thing comes out and ensures that people don't just go to polling units to vote, and at the end of the day, the results that they will see when they announce results will be different. With electronic transmission of votes, it will bring transparency and accountability to the electoral process, meaning that once you vote, you are sure that from the polling unit there, these results will be transmitted to the collation center, so results will count. Then thirdly, critical to this issue is the Section 87 that speaks on political party nominations. That's the party primaries. The biggest challenge in the electoral process is the party primaries, how they conduct it, who emerges to become candidates from political parties. This electoral amendment bill that is in the National Assembly that we are trusting and hoping that it passes through this week will ensure that credible, so the usual things we see in party primaries like we are seeing in a number of elections will no longer, shouldn't be witnessed in this election. You know, the Electoral Amendment Bill is detailing many ways to check the corruption that happens in party primaries. So all of these things put together, these are the things that will further give confidence to young Nigerians that their votes will count and they'll vote and turn out to vote.
All right, so it's a good thing you made mention of the electoral bill. Let me quickly bring in Cliff Stanley, who again is joining us via phone from Jos. Cliff, looking at the electoral bill that he made mention of, one of the things also that has come up is the expenses for campaigns. I mean, so according to feelers, what we're getting is that they're going to move or increase the limit of campaign spending, at least for the presidency, from 1 billion to 15 billion, for governors from 200 million to 5 billion, for senates from 40 million to 1.5 billion, and House of Reps from 30 million to 500 million, and then for state houses of assembly from 10 million to 50 million. How do you think this would play a role or even impact the ability of young people to compete in this space?
Definitely it is going to affect younger people because if you look at it, most of after the long run campaign that was taken out, there are a lot of youths able to come key into it, that also help younger people be able to play a role in merging as a candidate on some of the political parties that we have, that they've contributed their best in making sure that that bill has been passed and the things have been. So one of the challenges that the younger people are going to have is having the economic chest to buy some of these nomination forms in the political parties that we're going to have, and the economic war chest to be able to prosecute the campaign in making sure that the 2023 election is going to open with. But look at where the political parties put a huge amount of money and all this money that is going to the campaign. And I think the electoral amendment bill that Yaga Africa was able to give out one day sensitization program before the zonal hearing of the constitutional amendment has a huge amount of money whereby younger people will not be able to get such a kind of money to prosecute the campaign for the election commission. And Yaga was able to take some amount of money that political parties can be able to do, but I am very, very sure that the political actors will not allow that because they always use that as an age. It's either you have a godfather that will sponsor you, or you'll be able to have a group of friends that can be able to contribute to that. So that's going to be a challenge for the younger politicians that are going to come in. And when you remember when the APC as a party had their Progressive Youth Congress, now the young people are telling the old guys that it's their time. And the younger people are even very happy when Census Kayamo and Mr. say that they should queue up and wait for their time. They say no. He told them that power is not given, power is taken, and the younger people are able to prepare themselves for the power to be taken in 2023. And the youth leader there, Ahmed Ismail, was able to tell them in 2023 they will not be Buhari because the center of the governing party has to be with the Mr. President. So, and at the same time, Fashola was able to tell them that the future of the APC as a party is with the younger people. So, if you can see all these narratives that are coming, so younger people are going to play a role, and the decisive role as far as 2023 election is going to hold. And we believe that younger people are going to make impact. And most of the worries that younger people have is as a result of the amendment bill that we're going to have. Because if we're going to use the electronic from the accreditation, sent in as Manuel Joko has rightly pointed out, then that's why it's going to play a vital role for younger people, because a lot of people are going to monitor this from the ward level to the state level up to the national level, whereby results can be connected easily and people will be able to determine who emerge as a leader in their political party.
All right. Okay, Stanley, just hold it there for a bit, as well as our other panelists in the Abuja studio, that's Votapua as well as Emmanuel. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll speak more on especially how young people can raise money to be a part of that campaign when the time for the election comes in 2023. Please stay with us.